Next up on the call, we have Monte Coleman, head football coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas Pine Bluff fell to Texas Southern 41-28 this past weekend. This weekend it's homecoming, and they'll host Southern for a 2:30 p.m. kickoff. Good morning, Coach Coleman. Are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. If you could talk about your game with Texas Southern and preview Southern University.
Well, I'm starting to feel like a broken record each week now with the performance of our team, and had been able to find that one win. Texas Southern came in and played a good football game. I thought we were flat for whatever reason. I thought we had the best week of practice we had all season, and I was real excited about possibly getting our first win. And, of course, it didn't happen. So, we take our hat off to Coach Ashbury and his coaching staff and what they were able to do. They came in, they made big plays. Something that we hadn't done all season was give the ball away. We gave the ball away, and they just we've had problems with the run, and that's what they did. They ran the football against us. So take our hat off to Texas Southern coming in with a good game plan and being able to carry it out and win a good football game. We're getting ready to host Southern this weekend for homecoming. We're excited about this. It's another game that we're going to go in and do everything we can possibly do to win, and we definitely need to win it because it is homecoming, and definitely need to win it because it hopefully could be our first win. So it's another challenge for us this week.
All right, the floor is now open for Monte Coleman, head football coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Coach, what ultimately surprised you about Texas Southern?
What ultimately surprised me about them?
Yeah, what surprised you about? The record really didn't indicate the kind of performance that they had. So something that he do that maybe you didn't see on film, or that ultimately surprised you, especially in the second half with those big plays.
Absolutely nothing. What they did was what they've shown all year, pretty much what we scouted them for. They just outplayed us. The quarterback, we knew on film watching him, he can scramble. He's very quick-footed, and he moved around, and he was a problem for us. So there wasn't anything that they did that surprised us. It was pretty much what they've been doing all year. I'm sure they had some wrinkles in there, but it wasn't anything that was out of, that I can say, well, they had this play, they had this play. They just outplayed us.
Coach, what is the one big difference between last year's team and this year's team, and what did y'all do so successfully last year that made y'all so, successful on the gridiron as opposed to what y'all are not doing this year?
Well, one of the things is I've got 9 starters that's not starting. They were either academically ineligible or waiting for waivers, or they're not on the field. So that's a big difference. The year before, in 2012, we had our team set and we knew who they were. Coming into this season, 13, we had it set, and then all of a sudden, guys became ineligible because of reasons, and that's pretty much it. And plus, when you graduate people like Armstead and Brandon Thurman and Jarvis Webb, when they exhaust their eligibility, and you have people to not matriculate, and you lose 9 starters. I've got one guy on my starting defensive line that was with us last year. Everybody else are either walk-ons or freshmen. So that's huge when you lose 9 starters.
What are you seeing on tape so far in the early going about Southern that you're going to have to say, hey, we got to stop this, or we got to do this against them to be able to be successful this coming Saturday?
Southern is throwing the football a lot more than the teams we've played so far. Now I don't know what their game plan would be since we hadn't been able to stop the run over the last few weeks. I don't know what their game plan would be against us, but they're more of a pass-oriented team, and they throw the ball extremely well. From a defensive standpoint, they fly around, have multiple coverages, and they're very talented on defense, very talented up front in the front four. And the thing that we've got to do is be able to adjust and play hard against that front four. But they're a very well coached team and very very good football team right now. I think they're still leading on the West.
This might be a question more for Coach Asbury, but you said you didn't see anything, they didn't do anything different on film, but they never came close to rushing for 355 yards this season, Coach. So you saying you saw that they had the potential to have this kind of outburst from a ground standpoint?
I don't have the stats in front of me, but one run was maybe 40 yards, another run was another 60 yards, a quarterback scramble for 30 yards. So it wasn't anything that they did, and I'm not taking anything. They won the football game and had a great game plan, but, you know, when you got missed tackles on our part, I mean, they didn't run any special plays against us. They just had success against us. So yeah, what they did was what they've shown in all the games before, pretty much. The quarterback is very talented, has a great throwing arm. He's a very good scrambler, and when he scrambled in previous games, they were able to get him down. Unfortunately, he wasn't. When the running back, they ran off tackle with the power or the trap. They were able to make the tackle, and unfortunately, we wasn't. So I don't think they did a whole lot different. They were just more successful.
Coach, can you talk about Ben Anderson and what he means to you? You know, you mentioned the amount of players that y'all lost due to academic or due to, you know, just various reasons. Can you talk about how dependent y'all are upon Anderson?
Ben has really matured greatly since his freshman year here. Each year he's getting better and better. We just got out of our staff meeting, and I asked the coach about Ben. He had a quarterback rating of 110 this past game. He threw the ball well. A couple of the interceptions, it goes down against him, but there were some things that possibly could have been done to prevent the interceptions if the receivers would have done what they were supposed to do. But right now, Ben is doing an outstanding job for us. He's leading the offense. He's playing within the system. And that's all I asked for him to do. And that's the question I asked our offensive coordinator, Coach Dooley, is he playing within the system? And he said, yes, he is. So he's not trying to do anything extra. He's just trying to play within the system and trying to help us win a football game. So I take my hat off to what Ben has brought to this football team. It's what I saw in high school, and that's the reason why we did sign him to come in and play.
You said earlier that you felt like your team came out flat against, last week against Texas Southern. Why do you think so, and how do you get them not to come out, flat this coming Saturday?
Well, I don't know why. This was and I was being honest with you, the first game this season that I felt that, and I felt it during warm-ups, and, I pulled them aside, and I told them, I expressed to them what I felt, and, by the time the game started, I thought we had gotten over it, but unfortunately we hadn't. How do we get out of it? This game is behind us. We know the importance of this next game. We're taking them one game at a time, and we've got homecoming this week, and homecoming is always a game that kids get up for. So I don't think we'll have a problem with them being unenthused this week. I think everybody will be ready to go because it is homecoming. And because we're trying to get our first victory still.
Hey, Coach,
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Coach, the number of guys that you lost, starters that you thought were returning, are you worried about any kind of hit that you will take from an APR standpoint? Does that put your program in any jeopardy related to that?
Not at this time, no. Some of the guys that was going to be starters for us wasn't even on scholarship, so no, I'm not overly concerned about the APR. Always concerned with the APR, but not overly concerned because of these guys.